All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watch list, but a technical warning has been triggered. That was Friday. This is Monday, and why am I shooting it like this? Because, well, I just wanted it for the thumbnail. It looked better, but don't worry. We're going to get back to your normal watch list, but I want to talk about this down Friday, down Monday, and even then I was thinking, you guys remember we used to shoot watch list videos like this? I think it's pretty crazy, but, you know, make sure I got my news video. I'm still going to drop it for you guys. Make sure you keep your chat on screen there. That's what you got to do there, but we got a few things to talk about today, so I'm going to take it to the screen there. Welcome to the watch list. Make sure you subscribe. Drop your thumbs up on the video. What else is there? Oh yes, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. If you're not subscribed, it's the first link in the description, so check it out. It's also pinned in the comments. And yeah, man, show love, be positive, respectful, and oh yes, post your watch list below, baby. All right, let's get into it now. Okay. Back to your watch list, but I do want to talk about what happened today. I have some keys for you guys, so you know to do, like the video, do your thing, like I already said, post your watch list. But today was another down Friday, down Monday. So we talked about this. This was important because today we closed down 268 points, about 1%. It's a decent amount, and across the board, we saw a lot of big companies come down today. And this technical warning or this issue that anybody is bringing up, you know, amongst some of the other stuff we've seen, we did see something with repos today, but this is now a down Friday, down Monday. This doesn't occur too much in the logic behind this now. This relates it to some of the theories we've talked about and kind of what I'm expecting for the end of the year. But essentially, a down Friday, down Monday is hinting at an inflection point or a point where it is signaling a top or a bottom. So it's kind of like the Hindenburg, and we've talked about that, and we saw that. It's like the Hindenburg, the Titanic omens, but the difference between when you see a down Friday, down Monday is that there's very rare occasions that investors, funds, all across the board are selling off into a Friday before the weekend, and then right when that week continues, they continue to sell off. So that's kind of telling you a little bit about inflow, outflow, and how people are viewing the price. Now, there's a few things on the table, and now these are some of the keys I want to talk about. So I'm going to go over that, but that is the gist of it. And really, if I want to simplify this down Friday, down Monday, before we even just start talking about the keys and the plays that are going to kind of relate to this, the thing is, watch for big moves from here or for this to pretty much solidify a move. So if we see some downside, that could say one thing, but I will say this now, this is one after the holidays. I think we will probably see another down Friday, down Monday, and I think we need another down Friday, down Monday to kind of confirm that it wasn't a fluke because this was coming off of the holidays, so we'll see what happens. But to go over that, I got some plays for you guys. We did not make any plays today, but that could benefit us in the sense it's better to be late than wrong, and we're going to see how this could tell us about some plays and what's on the market right here, right now. So getting to the keys, though, like we said, down Friday, down Monday, watch for the tops and bottoms, those inflection points we were talking about, but now we have two more areas where I think we might see another down Friday, down Monday leading into this, but this is what is going to make trading this in December so difficult, is we have two really important events. We have the Fed next week, December 10th, December 11th, but now we see the down Friday, down Monday here. We're already coming off the highs. This did give back all of the gains even since Monday. You know, the next level is going to be around 310, 309, but it's how is the market going to price coming into the Fed, and then the reaction after the Fed. But then right after that, you get the tariffs or the trade war and the decision for December 15th. Now, this is important here today. It's even related to some of the potential plays I'm going to go. You guys probably saw United Steel today, but we put tariffs on Brazil and even Argentina, and I was surprised by this, and so were a lot of people, but this is related to the trade war. This is literally the steel that's been a common thing with China and what they've been doing. They've often been known to dump commodities through other countries. Brazil, it makes a lot of sense through there. So that is a way to see it. And again, now we've been talking about the updates so far. Now China's demanding one thing. Trump said it's up to China to make a deal today. They said a lot of the same BS we've been seeing, and then came back with kind of some more hawkish trade news, I would say, on the Trump front. But beyond that and what was said today, something that's kind of been a reaction, and this is what we even saw from Friday. Friday, the reason we started to come down was the Hong Kong bill. We see 1% today. This is why we want to see how the market is pricing this, but this is what people are reacting to, and this is finally now, we'll see if it's either a dud or not, and how China and the whole, this could explain a lot. And it's pretty much this entities list that China is going to release, or these blacklisted entities. It was one of three retaliatory measures. They were either going to release unreliable lists to include relevant firms, and that's why I said maybe it becomes Apple, but I've been literally wrong about that for a whole entire year. The next one would be to blacklist relevant U.S. people and firms to restrict their entry to China, and then a sanction on U.S. politicians that were behind the bill. So this and the reaction to this Hong Kong bill, the market's kind of waiting for, and people could say this could be some risk off. So again, that is giving us stuff right here, right now. We have to await the Fed, but then after the Fed, you're going to get the decision on whether or not we put more tariffs, or now Trump even threatened to raise the tariffs if there's no deal. And then China was saying they want the tariffs all completely off the table and rolling back the other ones. So it's going to be a fun time. So again, watch out for these indicators down Friday, down Monday, whatever it may be. But it's going to be very, very fun. So take it ready. But anything we've seen so far, it's looking like it could be a good premium sell week unless we start to really sell off. So unless it starts to kind of come down in an aggressive fashion, I mean, be careful for these ups and downs. Drop off. It holds up for a few days. That is all you need to have a really good premium selling week. When the premiums are high, we sell them. So I'm kind of waiting here. And then, we have to definitely take advantage of the mornings, and that's something we've been seeing. But even then, today also showed some big moves. So you saw Shopify, Roku, a lot of individual companies, they had big percent movers. So straddles and strangles are still kind of on the table, or there could be some of those shorter-term flips, but I'm still standing by some longer-dated swings this week, or even, maybe even shorter-term premium. There's that. And then finally, if it met the criteria before and had earnings, it's still in play. I think a lot of people are looking for earnings plays. We're going to see CRM and a few others tomorrow. But like I said, we don't really want to force them with the criteria and see, or some of these more obscure companies that report after, they could be good follow-ups. A great example is VMware. And even we saw Dollar Tree again, we're still in play. That actually kept coming down. And like I said, some stocks had decent moves. They were 2%. VMware was 2%, but they've been slowly and cumulatively dropping a bigger amount despite not having too big of an earnings report or reaction to earnings. So keep that in mind. But otherwise, just be careful with the plays that you're looking to play in these earnings. And then at the same time, don't forget that a lot of these earnings, even continuation, Dollar Tree, even Palo Alto, and some of the ones from a few weeks ago prior to that, those are still good plays, and those are still in play, I think. So there's that, but let us get into the plays. Didn't make any plays today. We're still holding a lot of the continuations. I have a few play ideas in mind, mainly like the Home Depot credit spreads. Again, we were kind of looking at something like that last week. I still want the FedExes, and now I've been eyeing some, but I don't even know if I even have a specific play on here because, again, this is what I was saying, before, and FedEx was very interesting today. They started off really, really high, then gave up when the market started kind of moving down a little bit. It was pretty weird, but the premiums are starting to get all over the place. Some of the further out the monies are still up, but you could see even from a few days ago when we first started looking at them, some of the contracts have came down, but they're still up. So it's at an interesting spot. I don't know how far I'm going to be getting at these, and, observe that the strike prices are all like $5 away, so keep that in mind and what that's even saying about the expected move with them. But I like FedEx, and then if anything, I don't know if I could even call it. I will say it's a tentative potential play. There's really either two options here. You could sell an iron condor. This is why I don't like it. I'm really even just thinking, and this is my logic between it. If you did an iron condor at like 222 on the call side and like 212, 210 on the low side, or even 215, you would only get like $1.50 in credit, like 250 collateral. Whereas if you sold like one of those deeper in the money puts like we've kind of been doing, I think I'd rather do that after tomorrow or even on a Wednesday, and depending on how deep it is, it'll still hold even then that 140 value. But hopefully, I'm looking for like a $2 credit on there, or like a 190. I'm going to look to do that depending on the range. But what I'm pretty much expecting Home Depot to maybe drop a little bit more, then stay in a range just like McDonald's did. So if I'm wrong on that, we'll have to see. But I haven't put on a play yet. And again, we lost $20 on that play last week. So I'm approaching it with caution. And I forgot to tell you guys, it's been another month now. We've made a deposit to the long term. The Robinhood, the small one, is back. So I have that $100 in there, that like 150. Let's see what we could do with it, but I'm going to wait. And what I probably want to do with that small account, I want to look to the ghetto spreads and the credit spreads. So this is a credit spread play here, but also too, it's understanding and observing what the market's giving you. If you want to even take more risk with the credit spreads, you can. But if you're going to do that, I would go for higher quality plays a little further out the money. But watch them. But in general, too, now I'm going to be keeping an eye on Roku. A lot of people have asked about this. They got a downgrade. They dropped. I was initially bullish on this. Now it's coming down like here. I'd be careful setting up a play. again, it's been moving. Look, the 100-day chart, think about how the options are pricing this. I said this on the stream today. Getting a lot of big moves, $20, $30, $10 moves. You're not having too many of the small days like you did before. So you're still going to have expensive contracts both ways. I want to see if it starts moving smaller increments. Those are going to be the days we want to buy contracts or look to buy contracts. So watch Roku, watch HD, FedEx, like we said, then Shopify. They also dropped too. I think people were even tripping. I think after hours, I think they had some weird dump, but it looked like it. But if anything, they still had a pretty big drop. Again, both them and Roku have fell off from those spots. Those are those momentum plays. I'm going to be watching them still, but no plays just yet. And it's really hard to identify. But again, in those, it's going to be the debit spreads instead of credit spreads if we wanted to play them. And that's what I'm even saying now here with this whole credit spreads. At the same time, there's still a potential for some of these strangle plays. And then next we got Disney. I think a few of the I think streaming and tech was just down today overall, but it looks a lot. I mean, it looks all across the board. You're kind of seeing some big moves when you look at these. So again, that's why we got to be careful for what we got ahead of us here. But watch them. Now, United Steel, they were actually up, and this is something to pay attention for here today, is what went down and what went up, especially what went up at a time here when things were going down. United Steel was one of them because of the tariffs, so keep an eye on that and even commodities, but even for a follow-up reaction too, those could be interesting swing trades. I'm just worried about the premium, and that's something I haven't looked at it. It's a cheaper play on United Steel, but the premiums are going to be susceptible to go really, really high on those. I actually haven't looked. I kind of wanted to. They're actually not that bad, surprisingly. Only 50%. So, I mean, be careful with that. That could either be telling us something, or if there is more of a reaction, watch them. But another company, too, Walmart, they dropped, but you can see they barely closed red. That's one of those older continuations we're waiting on, but I'm keeping my eye on Walmart. That's another one I'm going to be watching. But even then, this is something, I mean, it could come to life here in the next few days. I do want to see what happens, but TLT could be a move, and maybe a move up or down. I don't know. There is issue, there's a lot of bond shorting activity, just a lot of weird activity with bonds and even what we're seeing in the market. But with the Fed and everything coming off, again, I said this and it's been holding up. This could be an interesting play here soon. So watch TLT and seeing, but I'm going to keep my eye out for there. Then another play today, people went crazy on this, and even the puts went crazy, was Biogen. They have a meeting, I believe, December 4th through the 7th or 7th through 11th, but it's an update on that Alzheimer drug. And again, I had the 100-day up there. You could have saw, but Biogen, this same drug issue is it's kind of almost exactly 100 days ago. But that's what dropped them. They had a negative update on it. Then there was people saying that it was going to be positive a few weeks ago, if you remember when that jumped up here. But now they have one of these other, or it's like a speaking engagement of them at some conference. So what happens with this could be good, but I was even saying, I might want to say Iron Condor, but even then it's hard to get filled on these. A lot of people were saying that with both the puts and the calls, but it could, depending on what happens, it could be a big move or it could be a dud, but I think it's definitely going to be one to watch. Then I'm going to be watching Bank of America. They've been up. They were up. They closed up today, so that's another one of those, but even financials in general, XLF closed down still, but watch the banks, even in relation to the bonds, S&P and all that. Then AMD didn't drop too much, but NVIDIA did, so I'm still going to keep my eyes on the chip makers, but any of these big, again, momentum stocks post-earnings, this is telling us something, so watch out for that. And even if NVIDIA does start falling too, that could be one of those surprise continuations. And then Apple, I think they outpaced the market a little bit today. Yeah, almost double. So surprisingly, even though it looks just like the S&P, they're usually on par, but it was pretty interesting to see. You didn't get really any support from Apple or even Boeing, some of the bigger market components, but it's crazy to see. But there's that, and then those continuation plays, but that's pretty much it. No plays here. I'm coming with some patience, but I'm a lot of patience and caution. This is just an interesting moment, and it seems like I think a lot of things are heating up, man. I wouldn't get FOMO on it, and this is some real sniping here, and this is what I'm waiting for to see how these plays develop, and I'm pretty excited. This is the calm before the storm, or I don't know even how to explain it, but that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you're hydrated, healthy, ready to go. I need y'all in the game. Don't be impatient and rebuke all that negativity, baby. You got to stay blessed. Like I said, man, the Thanksgiving is over, so finally. But guess what? We always thankful, baby. So keep it up. Keep your head in the game. Don't think about quitting. If you got your allocation plans, tell when can you deposit. Remember, keep it small. Control the YOLO demon, the FOMO demon, all that, baby. We're going to have a Merry Christmas. Every day is Christmas, so welcome to the cold Christmas, baby. Yeah, we start right away. Every day, baby. All right, man, I'm getting too hype. I love y'all, but let's go.